I mean, to get a win over Blitz and XJ Cool J as well is no small feat for sure. Qualifying into top 8, one of their better doubles placements in recent memory, and I know a fan favorite team as well. We talked about this before when they played earlier today. Jake is not a legend I ever see. Ever.
No, not at all. You don't really see. To clarify, I'm pretty sure Jake is core, right? I think Jake is a crossover with core.
Yes.
Wonderful. People playing core at all
in 2024 is kind of
like
insane. Yeah.
Gold, unranked. I mean, everybody plays core for some reason because he has amazing crossovers. Probably. You don't see this a lot.
Yeah, so just avert your eyes from the weird amorphous dog blob that is, you know, kind of putting in some work right there with the stop Sarah to get the first stock of the game. I can't look away, Dara. It just keeps happening.
Okay, TAYA, how do you make it back on? Oh, ground pound. You think that's going to hit Lance recovery? Think again, Pavelski. That being said, TAYA, first stock going to be gone. FryDasOle and Pavelski looking quite confident, looking quite clean.
Jakeyy was looking for the recovery right there, not exhausted, so it wasn't enough to take the stock. That one wasn't either, and both members of Blue in deep red so far. Pavelski trying to advance forward, but chase dodge down. I like that, but does get picked up with a double KO at the end.
That is like one of those moments where I feel like his speed stat really comes into play because Jakeyy, even as like Teska, not on the speed stance, mind you, was still able to outmaneuver and avoid that side. That was crazy.
Ooh, okay, FryDasOle playing real aggressive right there, chase dodging towards the ledge, trying to get Pavelski to just pick up the stomp right there. 2 in a row, will miss, but finally picks up the Sair. Blue team hanging on to a really healthy lead. Nice pickup from FryDasOle as well.
Oh, Pavelski looking for the dash jump ground pound and then comes back on, and that is why Axe recovery, and this might sound like cope. I gotta stop. Look at this combo.
It's not cope. It is not cope at all. Look at this. Okay, Jakeyy trying to find the reversal right here, finds it off the backboard, but does TAYA come through to try to close the book on this stock? Pavelski dodging down. That was crazy, but does not get there. I love that vision, though.
Jakeyy was mad. Jakeyy was sick of Pavelski. Jakeyy wanted him out of there and wanted him gone and was able to succeed. Okay, it comes out. Is that going to be enough to KO? Oh no, Jakeyy not finishing his food.
Yeah, I think they thought FryDasOle was just done for right there, but just hangs onto the stock. TAYA will fall out, and Jakeyy soon to follow. The blue team takes the first game right here, and they are looking real good.
Did you see that angle?
Yeah.
That angle was crazy.
Yeah.
Was that like right off of the corner too? I want to see that stage spike. What were we talking about the last stock? It was a lot of crazy stocks this game, which is exactly what you can expect out of FryDasOle and Pavelski. That is the kind of pacing that you can always anticipate. Just, yep.
That was
crazy.
Gross. Yeah.
The corners in Brawlhalla, the stage spikes, are maybe like the most toxic thing ever conceived. You get hit by it and you're like...
It's worse than any relationship imaginable. The Brawlhalla corners, they've hurt me in ways unimaginable. I can't.
It makes me miss her.
Oh, no.
All right?
Oh,
Even that was better. Anyways, so what happened in that game 1? Well, that was the kind of action. That was super aggressive off stage. That's exactly what I wanted to see coming out from both of these teams.
Yeah.
FryDasOle and Pavelski, they had their confirms on lock.
Absolutely.
They got so much 2v1s and damage output out of each other.
Yeah, and you can see it in the stat spread as well. Just shy of 1,000 combined damage between the blue team right there. Really, really good.
Look at that number. 599 damage dealt. 600 damage. That is more. Well, I actually couldn't do the math fast enough. It's been a while. I dropped out of college.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, anyways, that was a lot of details about
It's a lot of damage. There was, you know, we sawed a boat in half to know how much damage that was, but we're going to get into our second game right now. Pavelski and FryDasOle are looking very good.
Millennial for saying that. It's not time yet to make, you know, that's
it's not time yet?
No.
Why?
To make post-ironic, that's a lot of damage jokes. That's going to be another couple of years.
Oh, come on. All right, let's go to game 2.
It's not ready.
Let's go to game 2. All right, looks like we don't have our game audio up just yet, but
we will in a second,
gameplay is still firing fast and fierce.
Okay, Pavelski coming back on, able to get the neutral. You know, I like this music as well. It sounds like a
I feel like
intro.
I'm in a montage right now. This is great.
That is what FryDasOle and Pavelski do. That's what they're quite known for. Okay. Oh, and it doesn't stop. Not at all. FryDasOle able to get that recovery. Pavelski no pickup quite yet because too busy connecting the Lance D-Light. That's going to be one stock gone off the top. FryDasOle connecting the down air.
Very nice. I mean, that was not even the intended target right there, but still gets one regardless. I love it.
Yeah, sure. Why not? You hit the lottery at that point, right? Okay. Coming back on with the recovery. Able to get the falling side in. Not able to get the anti-air though in that moment. Oh boy.
Okay. Yeah, and I think worth mentioning as well from the previous game, we talked about Pavelski's damage just being astronomically high for that first game. 472 of it came from the hammer alone, right? Like the way that they were able to get up, you said it, their confirms were just so on lock from an individual standpoint and also in doubles, but Pavelski is just trying to make this a solo act right now. FryDasOle playing on the sidelines right here. TAYA just desperately trying to come back, but finally able to touch the stage. Red team somehow comes out of that unscathed.
Boots KO, well, excuse me, Boots recovery not KOing off the top. Yeah, sure, I'm okay with that.
Couldn't be me.
I have no issue with that whatsoever. FryDasOle getting that sidelight. Nice little neutral light into the recovery as well. Love that neutral light. It just like pops you up at the perfect angle to connect that sometimes.
And FryDasOle just there to shark cover the landing there from TAYA. Looking so clean.
All of a sudden, red team, last stock apiece, less than 2 minutes in if I am not mistaken. Pavelski coming back on. I like the fade back there, just in case you overcommitted. You don't want to be off stage.
Yes, yeah.
Get back on, TAYA. You don't want to be out there.
Yeah, touch grass, touch the ground for a second. Hang on. Okay, FryDasOle playing the 2v1 right there. Pavelski trying to slide on through with that gravity cancel down light. Not going to get too much after that, but the hammer is online once again, and this weapon has been so lethal right here. Finds the pickup off the gravity cancel, but gets interrupted in the meantime.
Okay, looking through the recovery, able to get the down air though, just as a nice little get off me option. Both blue team members. Oh, you catch them stacked.
Yeah.
The D-light. I do believe that, I think it was like TAYA or Jakeyy was one of them, but they were just off in the wrong position for the D-light sider to hit both of them.
Pavelski defense right there, so FryDasOle can come on back, hanging onto this stock. Sarah's not enough to do it. Tries to cover the high angle. Really good option select there from FryDasOle, but does not close the book on it. Looking real clean in the process, though. Can get it right here.
Yeah, needed to jump closer a little bit to be able to connect the D-light ground pound, but that's going to be okay. Looking through the GC D-light, not going to be able to actually interrupt in time. The side stage spike does successfully come out, though. Pavelski backing off a little bit, and we got a 2v1 potentially.
Hang on. Jakeyy's just trying to make a play happen right there, but it's going to be nothing sliding off the angle right there. Those corners have hurt me, Dara.
I sincerely agree with that play flip, Jake.
Yeah.
Because this was one of those moments of like, hey, if you hit it, you hit it. If you don't, you don't. You hit that down and, well, congratulations. You're in a pretty excellent position as Boots, and you might have been able to kind of, you would have stolen that stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, the game becomes doable at that point, right? Because Pavelski was already hanging out on the stage, waiting for a weapon starve, was just playing so patient, can cover the ledge as well. I mean, if you make that play and force it into a 1v1, yeah, you're playing a little behind still, but it is totally doable to do in a 1v1.
This is like one of those like risk versus reward things,
right,
where you have to look at all the cards in front of you, and it might seem like a really risky play, but you don't have a lot of options. You'd rather not try to go back there and try to fight a 2v1, so I still do agree with that decision at the end of the day. Okay, FryDasOle, 50% accuracy on the signatures with the Enchantress, kind of crazy, especially if you throw out 8 of them. FryDasOle was dealing damage this game. 500 damage dealt. Pavelski also 500 damage dealt. Jakeyy 548, lapping both of them. Well, not lapping, but beating out both of them, but still not enough.
Specifically for FryDasOle, the Scythe was doing so much work too. I mean, the Orb and Unarmed combined still did under 100 damage in that last game. So that's a handful of light attacks, if that,
that's
right? For both of these.
That's Scythe extraordinary.
Exactly. Yeah, so I mean, just the way that they've been able to set up these plays so far, convert that into a 2-0 lead over TAYA and Jakeyy. All that being said, we talked about that final last-ditch attempt from Jakeyy to force the 1v1. I like that. Hopefully they have a little bit more agency going into game number 3 to, you know, maybe start with a lead instead.
What a beautiful day for EU, by the way, right? So no commentator bias, but, you know, FryDasOle and Pavelski are the players that a lot of people like. FryDasOle and Pavelski on their way game 3 at this point. They're up 2-0. They're about to find their way into winners finals if this keeps up.
Yeah, I don't even think that's biased, too. I was going to point out the viewer vote that came up back here earlier. I think it was like 70% in favor of Pavelski and FryDasOle. They are definitely a crowd favorite for sure. But all that being said, Jakeyy and TAYA are not to be underestimated right here.
No, not at all. I feel like oftentimes the dynamic that you really want to have with the that was so
That's
clean.
it. Look at it.
I felt so.
We're so close to the funny number, guys. We're so close to. Come on.
I see.
So close.
I see. Yeah, no, they're doing excellent at the moment.
vote for the team that's down 2-0 right now.
I think those predictions are really going to be all locked in for us.
We can do it. We can do it. All right,
So,
chat, count to 100 while we wait for this next game.
yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think they're going to be trying to reconnect a little bit. You know, with any online game, sometimes you disconnect. Sometimes you got to kick you out a little bit. Also, I feel like this would be a nice time for me to complain about ISPs. I'm not going to single out any one of them in particular, except they're all bad and evil. And the
That's
data
true,
infrastructure
yeah.
in the Northeast, especially New York City, drives me nuts. God, I wish I had fiber internet to play on.
We don't have that luxury where we are. Which
No,
is,
no, people think that you're in New York.
we
and
just
they
get
think that you have fiber.
expensive apartments and, you know, crippling debt and
really bad
sadness.
produce.
That's all there is.
Anyways, that's a little bit too off topic for us.
I don't
Let's
know.
go ahead and talk about what's happening in the rest of top 32. Let's talk about some of the matches that we'll
Yeah.
be seeing later on. So, Saphir and Godly actually going to be knocking Coco and Munir completely out of the tournament in the top 32 elimination side.
Yeah, yeah.
And you might be like, why is Godly in elimination side? Because Blitz and XJ Cool J took that set in the beginning of top 32 winner side. So, Godly Saphir in top 8. And on the side stream, we also got to see 7 DLA and Rain go up against Shadra, Baguette Sensei, or Baguette Senpai, excuse me, as well as up against Fizaru.
Don't get Baguette twisted right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy when you mention Godly and Saphir getting. I mean, it's an upset between Blitz, excuse me, and XJ Cool J, because that kind of, in a way, got Pavelski and FryDasOle here, because Pavelski and FryDasOle were able to take the win over Blitz and XJ Cool J in the following round and then qualify for top 8. So, you know, a little bit of a winding road, but we find our way for some crowd favorites right here to make it into top 8 because of a insane upset. Honestly, insane upset.
And Blitz and XJ Cool J at the moment also going to be fighting for the chance to be able to get into top 8 through elimination side, going up against Salome and Escape. But everybody, in the meantime, while we have a little bit of time together, while we're waiting for the game 3 of the top 8 match, let's talk about the Autumn Royale coming up next week. So this, my friends, is an event. And this is an event that if you are an enthusiast, this one I would say is for the Brawlhalla enthusiasts.
Yeah.
If you want to be able to meet some of your favorite players, if you want to be able to go out there and see, and you know, I think in a little bit more of an intimate environment, them really sort of battling and going at it, show up to the Autumn Royale. You can get tickets at brawlhalla.com/Royale tickets. It's going to be next weekend in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yep.
And this is going to be my first Royale as well, so I'm super excited about it.
Okay, yeah. So I'm excited to be there too. I mean, I've been kind of clued in a little bit to some of the fun pieces that these events produce as well, like some of the games that they were able to play.
Stuff.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a fun time. I mean, you see the lineup of our 12 players right here invited to the Royale. I think this is a stacked lineup, honestly, like old and new in terms of just like the top brass of Brawlhalla players so far.
It is, and I'm really paying attention to, I feel like NA and EU have sort of fallen off of the global radar a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially because SA has become the region that everybody is paying attention to at the moment. But NA's lineup is very much so the old and the new. SA and EU, I feel like, is a little bit more like kind of expected and par for the course. So the Royale next weekend, guys, it is not going to be an event that you want to miss at all. So we got Game 3 happening behind us.
We do.
We're going to be seeing TAYA on the Ulgrim, Jakeyy on the Teska, FryDasOle on the Enchantress, a.k.a. the Fate, and then Pavelski still playing the core.
Okay, we're getting into it. The internet has been restored for one of our players. The vibes, we're not so sure yet. Jakeyy and TAYA still need to get one on the board here over FryDasOle and Pavelski, who are looking quite strong right now with a 2-0 lead.
TAYA backing off a little bit, able to get that sider. Jakeyy looking for that end light, looking for that side light as well. Oh boy. And we're on Miami Dome, which is my favorite stage.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, big swing right there. Can catch.
The recovery
Very
didn't end
good
up
look. Yeah,
connecting.
FryDasOle can cover. There's nothing left for Jakeyy. You have to go for a save if you're TAYA, but at that point, so risky. I mean, what a clean edge guard and positioning from both blue team members.
Absolutely. They immediately cleaned up that stock. That was 30 seconds into the game. TAYA looking for a way to be able to get back on. Jakeyy going out there with the side sig, connecting the end light as well. Oh boy.
Okay. What? People are in the bubbles right now, and there are still stocks flying.
Red team came out on top in that situation.
Somehow, some way.
Yeah, I want to be able to tell you, I have to say. Oh, Pavelski with the ground pound.
Waiting,
Jakeyy
yup.
off stage.
And look at this coverage here, Dara. So good. Okay, FryDasOle has to peel back, though, because TAYA's on the respawn. So Jakeyy lives to see another day for now. But, I mean, I am so scared if I'm a red team member that gets knocked off stage now.
FryDasOle keeps on testing it. FryDasOle keeps on saying, hey, you look uncomfortable. I'm going to keep on pressing the issue. So, okay, huge side stick coming out from TAYA.
Yep.
Looking for the ground pound. Pavelski with the reversal.
Oh, off the backboard. Okay, looking for the GCD light right there is Pavelski, still maintaining this pressure strong, but target swaps right over to Jakeyy to pick up the KO off the top. They are looking unbeatable right now.
Looking for the siders. His stage spike, not going to be able to find it though. Okay, looking for the ground pound as well, a little bit unsuccessful. Jakeyy has been stuck in disadvantage. Jakeyy has not been allowed to play this game.
Okay, trying to go for gravity cancel down signature right there is Pavelski once again. Breakdance comes through from TAYA. Tries to whiff, bait the whiff punish right there. Pavelski takes the bait, loses the stock as well. FryDasOle hanging on. Not for long.
Okay, FryDasOle going to be on last stock here. TAYA still has 2 stocks to the game.
Yeah, and I mean, Jakeyy is looking like such a solid target, especially in the position we said FryDasOle is testing a lot of these edge guards. Side air comes through on the orb. Was not a very actionable weapon from FryDasOle in the last 2 games. You said the scythe specialist, but it gets the job done for taking that stock on TAYA, making this a single stock bout for everyone.
And they have a lead. It's a very gentle lead. But we know how blue team can just clean up the stocks in a glance. It just, you can miss it so easily.
Yep.
Jakeyy backing off for the second kill. Looking to get that punish maybe.
Wait.
You don't want to get your teammate right now. Now's not the time.
Okay, and just like that, we are pretty much at parity between all 4 members. FryDasOle just gets picked up. How did that stock fly? I feel like FryDasOle went from like yellow to red in an instant. Just like that, Pavelski wants to make this a 1v1, and he will. Can he make this a clean 3-0?
Pavelski just barely spaced out the end light and then was able to dodge through it to find a way to get back onto the stage. Boots versus gauntlets. We're seeing a 1v1, and red team is fighting for their life right now.
That's right. Chase dodge comes through. Pavelski a little bit aggressive right there. Gets wrapped up in the process. Loses the weapon as well. That could be a huge implication while we wait for the spawn. Jakeyy playing perimeter right now around that spawn. Pavelski wants to just jump in and grab it, but look at how patient Jakey's playing right now.
Oh, but Jakeyy put himself into disadvantage for just a second. Pavelski hunting down through that D-light. Huge end light.
Not enough.
Okay.
Very close right here. Wait for the edge slip to come through. Pavelski just wants to go up in 1.
Looking through the neutral, just playing so floaty, playing so patient, but Pavelski counted the jump.
Wait, why did he go for the edge guard? That was so risky. Okay.
I feel like Jakeyy still had tempos. Jakeyy still had the momentum to press a button. The recovery not enough to KO off the top.
But it will be enough to find that side KO. Pavelski and FryDasOle were looking unstoppable, certainly, but maybe their hubris was getting the better of them there.
Yeah, that was an interesting game. I have to say, first of all, like, kudos to Pavelski. I feel like there's a lot of micro-spacing happening here in regards to, like, avoiding and, like, dodging attacks, especially, like, you know, how Pavelski came back on there.
Right.
We didn't get to see that fully fleshed out into the clip itself. And then that time around, don't really know why Pavelski opted to go up and over the stage like that.
Absolutely.
That felt, I mean, I don't know, maybe just want to get back on.
Okay, on the board is Jakeyy and TAYA now. A little bit of a break going into game 3.
Yep.
Maybe some respite that they needed to get one over here, but they still need to win 2 more in a row to complete that reverse 3-0.
And that is odd. Like, the way that this game opened off as well, I felt this was going to be another FryDasOle and Pavelski game. Going into this next one, we're going to be seeing the stage switch up here. FryDasOle and Pavelski, can they continue to land those offstage sequences? Jakeyy looked uncomfortable in the beginning, and then Jakeyy is looking much more bold by the second.
Oh, yeah. Just took a little bit of a mental reset right there, perhaps. Can you set the tone right here? TAYA waiting for the dodge to come through. Was very, very clean, but didn't connect on either blue team member.
Wanted to go for the lead, and then ended up studying for the wrong text.
Yep.
So that time around, not going to be so lucky. The side sig friendly fire, not exactly what you want.
Ooh, FryDasOle got caught up right there with just nothing, I think. But TAYA was covering the side with the ground pound on the lance. So, I mean, it could have been a stock either way, but hard to say.
Get that side out. Ooh, TAYA just trying to occupy the ground right now. Jakeyy and TAYA making it so difficult for anybody to land at the stage.
Very nice.
Oh, not able to get the side out. FryDasOle with an amazing reversal, though.
Wait, but Jakey's covering both the bases right there. Maybe went a little bit too far down. FryDasOle picking him back up with that orb recovery, so Jakey's able to touch down. TAYA still looking like a juicy target, but Jakeyy has a little bit more damage right now.
And FryDasOle missed the follow-up there as well. That could have been a huge edge guard. Okay, you get the side out. Jakeyy keeps on pushing it. What are you guys doing?
Wait, okay, Pavelski was in position for FryDasOle to get the tap right there and find a chase dodge, so very, very close. Playing on the outside right here. Hammer comes through. TAYA just gracefully drifts back towards the stage and able to attack on a little bit more damage, still hanging into this.
Oh my gosh, Pavelski put into the blender for just a moment, eating a whole lot of damage, and now deep into the red. Blue team is looking pretty excellent at the moment. TAYA getting back on, punishing the end light successfully. The recovery comes out as well, and FryDasOle gonna be looking for a way to be able to land.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if they're looking that excellent right now. Look at the stock count. Look at the numbers on the screen, Dara. Pavelski is playing 1 stock down against 5. This is an insane turnaround for red team.
All of a sudden, the blue team edge guards, the blue team plays, dare I say, cheese and clips. Not so much this time around. Red team is looking so solid, looking so consistent, and Pavelski is just out of there. Red team, Jakeyy and TAYA have now put themselves into a game 5 in what looked like was going to be all Pavelski and FryDasOle.
I gotta thank the ISP for that one, right?
Yeah.
The little bit of a dropout that happened for our players made us have a bit of a pause right here. And maybe that was all the reset that red team needed to bring this one back, because that game 4 looked rough if you're Pavelski and FryDasOle right there.
So what ended up happening? So there was a lot of opportunities for FryDasOle and Pavelski to do what they do best, which is gauntlet neutral, spike you, hammer recovery, and then to be able to spike you, or something like orb down or ground pound. They whiffed. They did not actually connect them. There was one critical moment where, even though FryDasOle was getting 2v1 to off stage, one opponent was here, the other was there, went for the ground pound, and it was in between them, and it ended up whiffing. Only hit a recovery, got back onto the stage. But those are the moments where Pavelski and FryDasOle, they either take that stock or they really struggle to KO.
Okay, let's see it. Dara, we are 3 sets in a row that have all gone to decisive game 5s, and there is no shortage of drama that's been happening in this EU bracket. So can Pavelski and FryDasOle close the book, shut down the dreams right here with a reverse 3-0 for Jakeyy and TAYA? Hard to say again. I mean, that game 4 was very, very brutal, but let's see what they got.
But Pavelski able to get the punish in between the hits with a side light, looking for the GCD light. You put yourself off stage, still is able to make his way back on somewhat safely.
Okay, Pavelski reaching with that gravity cancel right there. TAYA and Jakeyy able to just reverse target swap right there. Picks up both blue members.
Huge D-Sig. They're both off stage. One goes high, one goes low.
Oh
Jakeyy
my gosh, one went side, one went low right there for a stock trade right out the gate.
Okay, they're playing a quick little 1v1 for just a moment. Jakeyy just occupying the ground. FryDasOle immediately once again off stage, probably fishing for the site neutral, and that is Pavelski's first stock gone.
Yeah, and Jakeyy just loves to wait for Pavelski to go on to TAYA. Just get wrapped up in a combo, a little bit too lost in the sauce, and you can just get picked up with the side signature right there to lose the stock. Here we go.
Looking for the neutral pickup. Hasn't found it quite yet, though. Able to get the downer, looking for the ground pound.
Wait, FryDasOle, let him cook. Let's see.
The downer. No, pressed it too soon. And then he kept holding on to the recovery.
Oh, Pavelski with the turnaround, though. He had nothing. You saw the sweat beads right there. That was his only out. So many people in those positions just go for anything so they can chase dodge up and grab the wall. But to go for the aggressive option right there is wild.
Yeah, he clutched. He was able to clutch up, and now let's see what blue team is able to make happen here. TAYA sweating on the way back down. Downer able to swat away the opponents. Okay, the sider comes out.
Jakeyy missed. Okay, huge reversal opportunity. FryDasOle once again. Scythe right here has been so lethal, at least in those first 2 games right here. Can he find it off the backboard? There we go. Jakeyy looking. That's going to be a stock trade once again. Pavelski out right here with a little bit more damage. Not enough off the top, though.
They got to get some more damage onto Jakeyy here to be able to make this one completely even. Okay, Pavelski opting to pick up the gauntlets. The neutral doesn't come out. Instead ends up grabbing FryDasOle, which is not what you want to see happen. You whip that side light. You put yourself in a perfect position to be whiff punished. Both blue team members stuck off stage.
Okay, Jakeyy once again sending it off stage. Pavelski in such big damage right now that they can just swap over to FryDasOle, try to force the 2v1 while Jakeyy runs right back in, or Pavelski, excuse me, runs right back in.
Pavelski is still somehow managing to hold on to the stock, is what I would say, until the end light.
Oh no! That's a huge swing!
That was an incredible follow-up. FryDasOle. FryDasOle was supposed to be the one to stay in the game. FryDasOle was supposed to be the one to stay healthy. And then you got 2v1 like that in the spur of the moment.
Get that! Are you kidding me?
Oh no!
The BM on the reverse 3-0 right here? No way! Okay, close it out. You got it right here. There's the signature, and that's the death knell right there. Jakeyy and TAYA complete the reverse 3-0.
That was incredible. That game was completely even. It was all even up until this one little teeny tiny follow-up that they were able to get onto FryDasOle. Look at FryDasOle's damage in the yellow at the moment. Gets hit by the neutral and then into the ground pound, and that